I know we normally revisit older races on this channel, specifically from the kart, champ car, and early IRL days, as well as the early IndyCar days after the reunification of American open wheel racing, but the 2019 BOMMARITO Automotive Group 500 at Gateway was an underrated classic that in my opinion deserves some recognition. The race was the 15th round on the 2019 IndyCar Series calendar, and the pole position was scored by points leader Joseph Newgarden with his third pole of the season. There was a little bit of controversy coming into this race, as the previous race in Pocono saw this huge accident going into the tunnel turn number 2, only 1 year after the accident that paralyzed Robert Wickens, and Takuma Sato was heavily criticized for this accident, and the blame was heavily placed on him. Takuma Sato was given an avoidable contact penalty due to this, but he ended up on his lid, and obviously the penalty wouldn't matter as he was out of the race. But in the IndyCar rule book, it states that if a driver is given an avoidable contact penalty 2 times during a span of 3 consecutive races, he would be put on probation for a period of the next 5 races. So the potential was there for Takuma Sato to be on probation if he couldn't keep his nose clean during this race.
It's the final oval, it's the final night race, and it's glittering. IndyCars will shine. It's time to bring the action. Newgarden with a good start. Bourdais goes with him. Ferrucci on the outside and Power on the inside.
Power forces his way, and is that Sato and Hunter-Reay getting together? Big little bit of contact and a big wiggle from Hunter-Reay. Great save.
Big start by Rossi. He was down the inside, but his teammate is on the inside of him as they go into 3. Pagenaud slots in behind Dixon.
How forceful was Will Power? Right into turn 1.
Oh!
Spinner.
Saves it. He saved it.
I don't know if he did. Yes.
He did.
Ericsson. Caution is out. Marcus Ericsson in his first race here at Gateway.
Look at all the grass inside the left front wing. He's going to hopefully come to pit lane to clear that off.
I see grass in my front wing, but I didn't touch anything, but something shook my shop.
Watch this. We're on board with Ryan Hunter-Reay. That's Takuma Sato on the left. These are the cars that got together at Pocono in that big accident.
Whoa.
They touch. Sato saves it, and of course Rossi was right in the mix just like last week.
He got loose too.
Yeah,
Rossi got loose.
Rossi got way sideways, and that allowed Hunter-Reay to get a run on him. But look at this action on this in-car. Rossi goes down the inside, and then the track opens up for him, and he does a gas it up right here. Look. And contact for Sato and Hunter-Reay again.
Yeah, Sato's sort of sandwiched here in the middle in the blue and white car.
All
he
four
gets
of those
low,
cars
and then he
were
kind of
involved.
bounces up, and Hunter-Reay goes to avoid, and then Sato starts to save it. Can you imagine the irony if those 3 cars would have wrecked again?
And Hinch was in it too.
Yes.
You had Hinch, Sato, Hunter-Reay, and Rossi all wheel to wheel again.
Now is this the Ericsson incident? Yes it is. He goes sideways himself.
Looked like he was just maybe a little bit on the curb.
Might have been dirty air. Could have put the left front on that curb. Either way, nice job to hang on to it.
What an eventful first lap here. 4 wide going into turn number 1. Ironically, with all the cars that were involved in that big accident the previous race at Pocono, Takuma Sato trying to keep his nose clean, but he got sandwiched there in the middle. Ended up making a little contact with Ryan Hunter-Reay and getting very loose, but thankfully all the drivers were able to continue on here. But as they got to turns 3 and 4, Marcus Ericsson would lose the back end, and even though he didn't really spin all the way out, the caution did still come out, maybe a bit premature there. But what a wild first lap. Joseph Newgarden would lead the field back to green.
On board with Santino Ferrucci. Go, go, go is the call, and Ferrucci said he's ready to do some passing tonight. Let's see what the rookie can do. He's up against Will Power, last year's winner, on board.
Santino Ferrucci got a good jump. Will Power had some wheel spin. It jumped out, but Will Power goes to the high side of Bourdais. Santino makes it 3 wide.
What a move from Power. Further back, Dixon's looking on Pagenaud as Ferrucci goes after his teammate and makes the move. Ferrucci to 3rd.
Awesome work early on the restart. This rookie is not intimidated by the ovals, and now he's chasing Joseph Newgarden, championship leader and the defending race winner in Will Power.
On lap 41 with lots of green flag racing and the pack strung out, that did not stop the excitement in the back of the pack as they were still racing 3 wide and battling for position. Takuma Sato would run into a little bit of trouble here though, as he would lose several spots and head straight to the back. He wasn't the only one having difficulties though.
That's Tony Kanaan up there.
Oh, big loose moment for Connor Daly. He backs everybody up in the corner, and then now you watch Sato on the inside here, comes sailing down the inside and whistles it in here and runs right up the track. Connor able to hold the position, but there's Sato going up the track behind him. Watch this. Connor able to maintain position, but watch Sato just go sliding up the track.
Oh, man. What a save that was from Connor Daly as we ride on board with Graham Rahal. There you see Ed Carpenter sliding back under Sato, and Sato just absolutely hanging on.
On lap 45, Takuma Sato's struggles were so bad that he was about to get lapped by Joseph Newgarden here. He would elect to immediately come to pit road and he would officially kick off the cycle of green flag pit stops, which would bring everyone to pit road over the next couple of laps. On lap 54, the second yellow flag of the day would come out as Will Power, who just came off pit road, got too high in 3 and 4 and put his Verizon Chevy into the outside wall, ending his day.
Yeah, he just got high. He's out of the groove.
He's not even racing anybody.
First lap out of the pits. It's over for Will Power.
Under this yellow, Scott Dixon would hit pit road as the team would take off the engine cover and fill his car up with water as he had a puncture in the radiator and was losing fluid. They would end up taking his car behind the wall to try to fix this issue, and eventually later in the race it would completely end his day. The running order would be shaken up just a little bit and James Hinchcliffe would lead the field back to green on the restart.
Set to go back to racing here at Gateway. James Hinchcliffe is the race leader. Here comes Santino Ferrucci up the inside. Not quite close enough. Yes, he is. Straight up the inside of Charlie Kimball.
He needed to make that move early, so now he can just sit on the back of James Hinchcliffe and ride for a little bit. This guy's got moves, Townsend.
He really does, and he also has great maturity. He's patient as Connor Daly sends it into turn 3 and has to get on the brakes, almost loses it again. And Daly's got a run now on Rossi.
Brakes were glowing on Connor Daly's car going into 3. They're 3 wide on the front straightaway.
Colton Herter on the inside of Simon Pagenaud. Rossi on the outside. Alexander Rossi.
Once again, Rossi is fearless on these short ovals. That was close.
I thought Power said you couldn't use the high line. Rossi was way up top. He's still working the top groove.
Keep in mind, during that long yellow, the sweeper trucks were out to clean the line, and here comes Connor Daly for another run.
These guys are best buddies. Hunter Ray's now in the mix. Will he make it 3 wide?
Ryan Hunter-Reay in his 250th career start in IndyCar racing. What's tonight got in store for Captain America?
Another restart with some more fantastic racing, absolutely awesome. 2 and 3 wide, drivers getting big runs and being able to make moves. These restarts were very exciting, and it's been one hell of a race so far. On lap 83 off of turn number 2, Santino Ferrucci would get a fantastic run on James Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe would try to shove Ferrucci all the way down to the grass, but Ferrucci would complete the pass going into turn number 3 and would take the lead of the race. At one point, Ferrucci would pull out to over 7 seconds ahead before making his green flag pit stop on lap 116. And he would end up cycling back around to the lead, but during a commercial break on lap 120, Marcus Ericsson would get into the outside wall and bring out the yellow flag once again. Fortunately for Marcus Ericsson though, the contact with the wall was relatively minor and he was able to continue on in the race. Santino Ferrucci would lead a Dale Coyne 1-2 back to the green flag.
And it's a 21-year-old rookie leading a 4-time series champion. They just so happen to be teammates at Dale Coyne Racing. Look a little further back. Here comes Alexander Rossi. Joseph Newgarden, the championship leader, sees his rival go right around the outside.
And gets both of them. But he runs up high a little bit. He tried to get Hinchcliffe on the outside, but it didn't work. And now Newgarden fights back.
Here comes Daly again.
Whoa!
Big sideways of Pagano on entry.
That was Rosenquist.
That was Rosenquist in that Monster Energy paint scheme for this weekend, but Connor Daly loves throwing it in there into turn 3, and here comes Colton Hurd on Rosenquist.
A couple of rookies going at it.
Track has been cleaned up during that yellow break. You can see the high groove working again.
This restart was a little more tame than the others, but the green flag would only last 3 laps before Spencer Pigot ended up backing into the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
he went inside
With Kimball.
and it's tight down there. He just was on the apron there below the white line, and it got sideways. A pretty hard hit here into the safer barrier.
All the front runners would stay on the racetrack here, and Ferrucci would lead the field back to green once again.
Let's go back to green. Here under the lights. Watch the third car. Zach Veach making a move. Alexander Rossi on the inside of Hinchcliffe.
And Rossi makes it work up the inside. Newgarden now's going to have a run, and back there's Rosenquist and Daly side by side.
Zach Veach tried to make a move on Bourdais, and he's still trying on the back straight, and they're banging wheels down the back straight.
Veach is trying to get his lap back. He's trying to get back onto the lead lap. He's up to second now. He's trying to work on Ferrucci to get back onto the lead lap. That was sketchy. Here comes Rossi.
How Bourdais didn't lose it there, but Newgarden now on the outside. James holds tight, backs off a little bit, but the action up front with Bourdais and Veach was incredible.
Look at Daly. Daly's got a run now on Rosenquist. This is Daly's corner. He likes entry speed here. Let's see what he does. He fires it in once again.
The turn 3 master at Gateway is Connor Daly. And Colton Herder is in the mix on fellow rookie Rosenquist again. Watch the white car pop out.
Herder gets a run down the front straightaway, perfectly timed, perfectly executed into turn 1.
Once again, another exciting restart, and the lap car of Zach Veach was causing hell for Sebastian Bourdais. And with how out of shape Bourdais got, there was no accident there. On lap 175, we would see the first of the front runners hit pit road to make a routine green flag pit stop, but unfortunately, stopping here on this lap would not be enough to get you to the end of the race. The middle of this green flag pit cycle wouldn't stop these guys from racing extremely hard though, as Hinchcliffe puts a huge block on Simon Pagano, takes him all the way to the inside wall, and the two would actually make contact, but fortunately for everyone, both drivers would continue, and no serious damage was done to Pagano's car. And a few laps later on lap 189, the leading Dale Coyne cars of Santino Ferrucci and Sebastian Bourdais would make their green flag pit stop. Disaster would strike for Sebastian Bourdais though, as similar to Will Power before him, he would get too high in turns 3 and 4 on his out lap, make contact with the outside wall, breaking his rear suspension in the process, ending his day.
To give him that yellow,
he brushed
there's
the wall.
Bourdais, just gets high.
Yeah, brushed the wall, bent the suspension, and then it broke as he spun. Beach barely misses him.
Who was that on the low side? Somebody went right up
Might have been
against
Ferrucci.
Whoa, what a
Another amazing
This guy is
escape.
unbelievable.
He's done it again.
Man, that makes me nervous, though. Look at Connor Daly. Everybody's slowing up, and Ferrucci finds a gap and just punches it.
Again, he uses the throttle as his friend.
Pretty dangerous and risky move there by Santino Ferrucci, but he managed to avoid everyone and it ended up paying off for him. This yellow would be a huge turning point in the race though, as most of the drivers stayed out on the racetrack, but pit road had a few takers, including Takuma Sato and championship leader Joseph Newgarden, who had hopes of making it to the end by filling up here. As this was a pretty lengthy caution, we would see even more takers a few laps later in hopes of making it all the way to the end. And because of all the drivers hitting pit road here, this would cycle the original batch of drivers that hit pit road to the front of the field, with Takuma Sato now in the lead and championship leader Joseph Newgarden up to 4th.
Takuma Sato, Tony Kanaan, Ed Carpenter find themselves 1, 2, and 3 ahead of the championship leader, coming back to green with 44 laps left to run in this BOMMARITO Automotive Group 500. Newgarden pops out of the line. He wants to go on the inside of his old team boss, and here comes Rossi again. Newgarden hangs tough though and says, not this time.
Oh, look at Santino Ferrucci around the outside of Zach Veach. Ferrucci is mad. He wants that lead back.
He's going to make a move on Rossi if he gets down there on the inside. Connor Daly again on the inside with the brakes glowing. looking tough. Look at this group of cars. These guys at the back are on new tires. Marco Andretti and Connor Daly banging wheels on the front straightaway.
Somebody's all over the apex. That's James Hinchcliffe almost getting backwards.
And Pagenaud and Hinchcliffe.
Here's the 4 car doing.
Some more wild and crazy racing on the restart, everyone trying to get what they can get as the race is definitely winding down now. We did not know it at the time, but this would be the final restart of the race and it would go to the end from here. The strategy calls would continue, as with 20 laps to go, Alexander Rossi, whose team was not confident they would be able to save enough fuel to make it to the end, just decided to bring him down pit road and put some fresh tires on there and go full rich to the end. With 4 laps to go, Takuma Sato still had a tight lead over Tony Kanaan and Ed Carpenter, as Carpenter would make a move on Kanaan going into turn number 3 and then would set his sights on Takuma Sato, coming to 3 laps to go.
And Ed Carpenter is in with a shot of victory. He was last night in final practice. I spoke with his engineer Peter Craig today. He said, it wasn't looking good. It sure is looking good
he's
now.
Got a run there. He's got a nice run coming off the corner. Does he go for it? Coming to the white flag.
1 to go.
1.25 miles left in this race. Under the lights, the final oval of 2019.
Ferrucci's got a run coming off the turn 2. He's right there. Kanaan blocks. He's going to make him go in the gray. Oh, this could be disastrous.
Backs out of it.
Oh no. He's going to lose it.
Hold on. The checkered flag is waiting. Is it Sato? Is it Carpenter? It's going to be close. It's Takuma Sato.
Newgarden.
You're the man.
Is that Newgarden?
That's Newgarden.
The championship leader spins.
He's losing points with every pass here. There's Rossi.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Rossi beats him to the line.
How in the world did that happen?
That was the most insane race I have ever seen.
What a wild ending and one heck of a race overall. This race was awesome, and I feel like not enough people talk about it and give this race credit for being as good as it was. And shout out to Takuma Sato for silencing all the doubters and haters, winning the very next week after being criticized so heavily for causing that accident. And then on top of that, Joseph Newgarden spins coming out of the last turn, losing several spots and several championship points. Just such an insane race, and in my opinion, an IndyCar classic. That's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know how you feel about this one. Do you agree with me that this race was just freaking awesome? Or if you don't agree, let me know too. Subscribe to the channel for more IndyCar content just like this, and I hope to see you in my next video. That's all for now. Take care, everyone.